morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Brady Boy Bill Karras at another plowing bee. I guess back east we kind of call them plow days, but plowing bee. And we are just outside Tekoa, Washington, Tekoa. And this is the 9th year that these guys have been gathering here at the Hayes farm, and looks like we got a little bit bigger operation than we did last weekend or the weekend before when I was down near Moscow, Idaho. So we're just gonna have a look again, and we're catching a little local action here. Got a guy in a big quad track sowing his winter wheat. I'm guessing it's the winter wheat, and they're behind schedule on that. Everything this year is behind schedule out here in the Palouse. We had a long, cold, wet spring, and it puts everything behind schedule. Harvesting, planting, you name it. But good to see we're all out there and having at it. And we seem to have a pretty good lineup of brands here. As you can see, it's an all brands and all color. Got a little John Deere 8 banging away here. Little Alice M. A Case, I don't know, an 830, don't know. Caterpillar D2. And miscellaneous tractors. Heavy green predominance here. We got a few other cats and dogs, but it's probably about 80% green. And we got a John Deere 520 here, pulling 6 plows. And he looks to be the heavy hitter here so far today. Although we have a 7020 down there. Have to have a closer look at him. But a beautiful turnout and a beautiful day. And the drivers are down there getting their briefing. So we should be seeing some action before too long. Just wanted to watch this McCormick Deering crawler purr for a minute or two. He's got 5 plows behind him. So I don't know. The T30? T40? Not really sure. See if I can find some markings on it. Okay. And it is in fact a T40. Just had a word with the gentleman operating it. Well, I thought he was going to go for a minute. Having a pause. Yeah, this is the T40 with 5 plows behind her. And we got a 630 coming. Looks to be restored, looking pretty good. Pulling 3 bottoms. And here comes a John Deere with later model fenders on it. And the B4 heading out. He's pulling 4 plows, 4 bottoms. I guess they're going to start up at the top of the hill. They tend to start at the top and run a big oval or a circular pattern. turning the furrows up the hill. Here's our friend across the road. He's still at it. And here we have a John Deere 2510 with a 3-bottom international plow. And we saw him working last week, so we'll get to see him work again. Well, he didn't have to pull the flywheel, but boy, I tell you what, I don't think that flywheel turned once, maybe twice, and she was running on the old G. And here comes the R that we were watching last week. Pretty sure it's the same one, pulling 4 bottoms. Heading to the top of the hill. Well, here we have a little Alice, I believe it's a CA, pulling 2 bottoms. And he's struggling. He's having a hard time. And they're kind of spread out now. I don't know how many acres they're going to plow today, but they've got plenty of it. A couple of crawler over there working up on the far side there. Pretty amazing. Okay. And we got a John Deere, another John Deere G. And he's got just 3 bottoms, which he should be able to handle with no problem. That thing looks like she's been repainted. Beautiful shape though, nice rig. We have a couple of farmals over here getting ready to join the pack. And here we have a second R. He's just pulling 3 bottoms. Make easy work of that. So we've got a pair of John Deere R's here. And I don't see that any of these tractors are restored. A couple of them maybe have had a fresh paint job. The H dropping a pair in. Here comes an M. He's pulling 3. Yeah. And the W9 is about ready to lift him up out of the furrow. And we just got us a real cluster of John Deeres here. Looks like an old D and a 3020, a 720. We got a 620 over on the other side there. There's that other R. Here comes a little, I think it's the D2. There's the big old case. A 900, I believe. And boy, they're just all over this hill. There's a little B275 that we saw last week. I don't recall that I got to see him in action. May have. Pulling a little John Deere 2-bottom plow. And here comes the D2, tugging right along. Well, getting on the what is now the downhill side here. And here comes the case standard. I believe it's a 900. Very faded markings on it. Well, he's having a hard time getting that plow to go in. Oh, I see it's pretty rusty. Pretty rusty. And it looks like the R's having the same trouble with his plow. These boys got her down pat. That G's just pulling 3 bottoms, but well, it's got the back 2 in and the front one doesn't want to go down. G's popping pretty good, and he's got all 4 plows down in there. Here we have a beautiful, nice and shiny 530, and he's got 3 plows. A mounted plow, they're sinking in there real good. He's turning some dirt. And the M's doing fine. And that G is just about at a full gallop. It's really moving. And there's Mary on a little Ford, pulling 2 plows. Saw that tractor last week, but I don't think it ever moved the whole time I was there. But Mary and Clancy on the little Ford. So they're not operating their cat today. Another little Ford, 2 bottoms. And we got a couple of trailer plows that are having a hard time. Doesn't look like they've been used lately and need to do some adjusting. It's getting no place fast though, right now. Big G getting right after it. Well, we got a Farmall M pulling a John Deere plow. He seems to have everything dialed in pretty well. He's humming right along with 3 bottoms. Yeah, they had these 2 tractors last week at the other plow. And the McCormick W9 pulling 3 bottom John Deere plow, and he seems to be doing fine. He's humming right along. The 3020, 4 bottoms, he's doing fine. And here comes that 5020. Snaking them right along pretty good. I don't know what he's got in there. 6, 7 plows. Not real sure. Maybe we'll get a chance to count them. And the D is having no problems. He's humming right along as well. And here comes the 5020. I think they're kind of rounding out the end here, so it'll just kind of go in one big elongated circle, kind of an oval. I believe he's got 6 down there, which isn't all that much for that tractor. Of course, it varies from field to field. Well, the OD just, well, he's having problems getting that plow down there. There she goes. She didn't want to sit in at first, but there she goes. And here's a little Alice M, Model M, pulling a Deere, I guess it's a Deere plow. Not having any big issues. Got his plow adjusted pretty well. Another G with a mounted plow, no problems. And we got one of the G's here doing some adjustments on the plows. Maybe getting some advice from those gentlemen there, maybe have a little more experience. There's the other G just humming right along. Just humming right along, smooth as silk. Yeah, the little Ford kind of struggling there on the uphill portion. Couple of John Deeres here just a cruising. That's not fair, he's got a cab. Of course, he's got the doors open. There she goes on her little Ford. Her sister was driving a little while ago. Mary was driving it before. Clancy's just out and cruising. They are just all over this today. By the way, again, a little reminder, this is Brady Boy Bill Karras, and we're in Tekoa, Washington. Just outside Tekoa, which is a little one-horse town, little farming community. Nice little place. But it's surrounded by wheat fields. Well, the little Ford with what looks like a single bottom plow is struggling. Don't know what the malfunction is there. There's Mary and Clancy. Traded their Caterpillar for a little Ford. Saw them last week. Well, I know they were there last week. I ran into them kind of after the fact. And when we were doing the threshing bee over by Davenport, they had a little, I think it was a D4 Cat with a Model 51 combine, McCormick Deering. Now they're doing a little plowing. This G G is really hustling along. He's moving at a good clip. Got everything set up just right. Well, we saw the case working earlier, or trying to work, and they worked on his plow for quite a while, and I guess they've got it sorted out and tuned up and realigned, and everything's in good shape now. Yeah, they got the plow set up just right now. And what do we got here? Another G, the other G. It looks like he's done some fine tuning on his plow. Adjustment is everything. And here comes a pretty good shot of the 50-20, pulling 6 bottoms. Snaking along pretty good here. Whoa, what happened there? All of a sudden the plows came up and he's doing a U-E. Well, here comes the 70-20, and I'm not sure how many bottoms he's pulling. Maybe we'll get a chance to count them. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Here comes the G again, just humming along. Well, here we have a McCormick Deering T40 diesel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bottoms. And he keeps having to pull out because the plow keeps getting plugged, gets choked full of straw. I guess it gets planted pretty thick these days, pretty heavy. And these older plows don't have enough clearance to keep cleaned out. You may end up having to stop. And you can see over there in the distance where the boys have started another hill. So I think this is about wrapping it up for Brady Boy. Another successful plow day, plowing bee as they called it, here in Tekoa, Washington. Nice young lady with her little 2-bottom Ford, having a workout there. Here comes Mary on her little Ferguson. Always nice to get a big smile. Well, here comes the big horse in the herd, John Deere 7020. I think he's only pulling about 6 bottoms though. The old G is still at it. You can see how the plows get choked with straw, chaff. And the little cat is hanging on for dear life onto the side of the hills. And we even have a pretty old Mack diesel here too. Jim Thompson out of Sandpoint, Idaho. Quite a ways north here. He hauled quite a hike to bring his, well, it looks like an R, and I think it's the 820 back there. Beautiful rig.